chin while tens of thousands of Egyptians died. I know y'all don't like to talk about this, but you better put this war spirit back in you, Israel. You better get that spirit back in you, man. You better get that spirit of warfare back in you, because the Lord will put blood on the streets of America and around this world, brother.
As we all know, many times in the past, we came out of captivity, or about to come out of captivity. We came before the Most High, and we recognized we had left the truth, and we had sinned against the Most High. We then turned to the Most High and renewed our oath that was given to us. We decided this year to take this opportunity, especially since we see all the signs of the Lord coming, to get together and to renew our oath to the Most High, to remember our brotherhood and our sisterhood. Many, many times our brothers and sisters, even off the coast of Africa on our way here, being dragged into slavery and stripped of our identity, we got on the water's edge and prayed to the Most High and asked the Most High to not leave us, to not turn from us. And we put him in all things. That's why we came out here today. We're going to face this water, and we're going to ask the Lord to remember the commitment he made to us, and to let him know that we remember our oath to him. That's right. And that our covenant is real, and that our King died that we can have this covenant, and that he returned back and put his hand out of that river and bring on these nations exactly what they deserve. That's right. The judgment ran down like water, and that the 12 lost tribes of Israel returned, and they Christ's kingdom, which will never fail, be established in this earth. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of YAHANNA also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. The oceans still roar, the depth has not been measured out. The seed of Israel is still here. That's right. Nehemiah 4:14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, and your sons, and your daughters, and your wives, and your houses. And it came to pass, when our enemies heard that it was known unto us that Yahweh had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned, all of us, to the wall, every one unto his work. And it came to pass from that time forth that the half of my servants wrought in the work, and the other half of them held both the spears, and the shields, and the bows, and the habergeons, and the rulers were behind all the house of Judah. They which build on the wall, and they that bear burdens, with those that laden, every one with one of his hands wrought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon. For the builders, every one had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. And he that sounded the trumpet was by me. Brothers and sisters, today we build this nation. We return it back to the Lord and restore it. We cast our prayers onto this ocean before the Most High, man. and ask the Most High to remember our covenant with our King, whom we caused to leave and lose, whom we killed on a tree, loving the Romans more than ourselves, whose back we turned on, who would have risen the dead, healed the sick, and restored us as a nation. Even our great King YAHANNA, which there is no comparison, man. A great king, a mighty king, a king that sacrificed himself first for each and every one of us. This day do we return back to the Most High and renew our oath. We renew our oath before YAHANNA. Let this Passover be the glory of the Most High, and let the Most High shine on this nation and give us the power to return our people back to Him. Let the 12 tribes reign, and let the heathen be destroyed.
That's right. That's right.
Come now, and let us reason together, saying Yahweh. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it, man. How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it. But now, murderers, man. Murderers. But we will restore our nation, man. Restore our brotherhood and sisterhood. Restore our strength and our identity and our nation, man. And we will serve Yahweh, our King, from this time forth and forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak. Come here, Shalom! Come here, Shalom! Who's the power? Who's the power? Who do we fear? Who do we fear? Who is your king? Who is your king? Who is your king? What's your name? Argument time. Dismissed.
Busy man.
I'm on this shit till I die. Been waiting too long.
All right, let's clap it up.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barak Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Thumb Shem Yahshai to all the sisters. This is the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. As you can see right here, we got some unleavened bread. Right, we got some unleavened bread here with us. Right, we're about to open the ceremony. Salakia, we're about to open the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Men of Israel, Al-Qawatian, Imajim, which means to stand. Officer Shariwan, state your registry.
Officer Shariwan, Ban Yamyan, Ban Yasharala.
Officer Shariwan, Ban Yanyan, Ban Yasharala.
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barak Thumb.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Salakia, 1 moment. Okay, we gotta do that. That's what's happening. Okay. Salakia. La Yashra'ala, which means to Israel. Salakia. We're going to open the feast with prayers, right? Just like a regular Sabbath service, because this is a Sabbath, we're going to open the feast with prayers. Men of Israel, Agwatim, Sar, which means turn and face the east. Sar Hakodam, Salakia. 1 moment. Everybody good. Amajim Wapanya Hakodam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Then we're going to break it down in English. The Lord's Prayer, you can find it in Matthew 6, verses 8 to 13. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Haya,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwaka,
Malakwaka,
Saba'ah,
Sabah,
Ratazakah,
Ratazakah,
Haya,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Isha,
Ba'aratazah,
Ba'arataza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Haya,
Hayah,
Bashamayim,
Washamayim,
Lathalanawa,
Lathan Lanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kal,
Yuam,
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa,
Wasalaknawa,
Kabwathnawa,
Kawwathnawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kabwathinawa,
Kawwathinawa,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Sabayanawa,
Labayanawa,
Banasayawan,
Banasayawan,
Abal,
Bal,
Hawashayanawa,
Awashayanawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya Laka,
Kaya Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Wahala,
Wahala,
Wahatapara,
Wathapara,
La'aiwalamyam,
Laiwalamim,
Aman,
Aman. In English, our Father which art in heaven,
our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done on earth,
thy will be done in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever so be it.
forever so be it. Salakia. Haka, the prayer for power. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham,
Yahushai.
Yahushai,
Babakashah.
Babakashah,
Lathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa,
Haka.
Hakak,
Haka.
Hakak,
La'apa'ah.
Rapa'ah,
Kalmakala.
Kal Makala,
Wakamadawa.
Wakal Nadawa,
Haka.
Hakak,
Latahar.
Latahar,
Hamatazariah,
Hamatazariah,
Haka,
Haka,
Lahakoyam,
Lahakwayam,
Hamathayam,
Hamathayam,
Haka,
Hakak,
Awakawa,
Awrakawa,
Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarshan,
Lagarshan,
Basham,
Basham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tuaraman.
the water of Aman. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai,
Please give us the power
please give us the power
to heal
to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the leper,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai,
In the name of Yahushai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahahariam,
Al-Haharim,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Isaiah,
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 Ma'an,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha,
Aisha,
Shemayam,
Shemayam,
Wa'arataza,
Wa'arataza,
Al-Yathan,
Al-Yathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Shemarka,
Shemarka,
Ana,
Ana,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shalmar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemarka,
Shemarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yanyanka,
Yanyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Mashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayrak,
Wairak,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makalrai,
Makalrai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaatka,
Tazaathka,
Waba Awaka,
Wabawaaka,
Ma'aifa,
Ma'aitha,
Wa'id Iwalam,
Wa'id Awalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
With one comes my help.
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Yasha'ala
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out,
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in
from this time forth,
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. We're going to say the biblical curses. Salakia, we're going to say the curses, right? This is UPK tradition. We're going to curse our enemies. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven
King of heaven
and earth,
and earth,
and all things
and all things
living.
living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahushai,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils
Send evils
and curses
and curses
and punishment
and punishment
and destruction
and destruction
and death
and death
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
that speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the school.
Send evils and curses
Send evils and curses
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose
and shake loose
the pockets of the rich
the pockets of the rich
of Israel
that refuse
to give to the school,
to give to the school,
force their riches
to
enter into thy sanctuary,
enter into thy sanctuary,
send evils and curses,
send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the
Edomites,
and the nations,
and them,
their drug dealers,
the
court system,
court system,
the prison system, Planned
Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA, space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting. Salakia. Your words throughout the earth, throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues and cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the plagues to come up against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the plagues. Let Yahawashi, Michael, Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and destroy all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahawashi. Tawada. Always so be it. Men of Israel, Akwafin, Sar, you may be seated. All right. All right, so we're about to get it in. We're going to start with the reading of the Hebrew, right? Leviticus, Salakia, and Brachiala. Then they're not ready yet. 1 second. All right, so 1 moment. Let me just get it ready. Bear with me a moment. All right, so as we go into this feast of unleavened bread, I hope you've enjoyed this week of unleavened bread. Oh my, I've definitely been enjoying it. Officer Shaw, you went to the Passover. While I get the Hebrew ready. Baba Kashah, tell us about the Passover. Give me a little time for a second. Enlighten us on your trip, your journey. Most people talk about how they'll do this and that, but they never do it. This brother here, he said he was gonna do something, and you're damn right that's what he did.
Most High in Christ, sir. Yeah, so Lucky, if I may, there was a brother in the school who gave me a call, and he was the brother wanted to see the glory of the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean, he was praying for the glory of the Most High, and I just let the brother know, like, we're seeing the glory of the Most High in the I.S.U.P.K. When I went down to that Passover, I have never experienced anything like that. To see so many brothers and sisters who actually do what the Most High says.
Right.
They don't make excuses, and they are some of the most. They are the most amazing people I've ever met. You know what I mean? Like the Lord's Passover is a time where we bring it out in the scriptures all the time. Right? I think it's the book of Zephaniah 2:1 where it says, "Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired."
Right.
And through obedience under the Most High, brothers and sisters are gathering together. We have brothers I met brothers from the UK, brothers from Holland, Jamaica, Trinidad, Puerto Rico. I met a brother from Alaska. It was good to see him out there doing his thing. Brothers all over the United States. You know what I mean? And it was just brothers gathered together, and they did it. They did it in the name of Yahweh Shai. You understand? They did it in the name of the Most High, in the Most High in Christ. And I didn't see not one argument. I didn't see not one fight. I saw brothers and sisters serving one another, suffering for one another, doing whatever they could to just have a good time. And we did that. And that was just the beginning of it. It's like, not only did we gather together and just enjoy each other, the food, man, the lamb was amazing, all the food, all the things the sisters and brothers put together for us. Like, all of that was amazing. And to be able to commemorate some of the things that our ancestors went through, our family, our nation, Yasharallah, just to commemorate some of the things that we did in our history, and times the Most High was with us. It was just, man, it was just glorious. And man, like I can't wait to gather with brothers together. Like next week, look forward to going out to Montreal. Anytime we're gathering, like it's such a beautiful thing.
Right.
And if I could bring it back to what the brother was saying, like that is the glory of the Most High. I mean, to see blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans united, regardless of all the hellish conditions that we live in. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are uniting, and we're actually treating each other good. I know Captain Contazar spoke about it last year. He just kept saying, like, the I.S.U.P.K is a place of heaven. And I can absolutely say I experienced heaven on earth during the Lord's Passover.
Most High Christ.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into it. Hold up 1 second. All right, so I'm going to read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then I'm going to have Officer Shaywan break it down. Once again, shout out the Most High for this unleavened bread. All right, let's get it. So out there. Wayada bar Yahweh. Oh, so out there. One moment. Let's get back to it. Leviticus 23, verse 1. Uyad bar Yahweh. Oh, Mashah. Lamar. Verse 2. Debar. Oh, Manya. Yasha'ala. Wa'ah. Wa'mar. Wa'mara. Alaham. Alaham. Mawa Idiyah. Yahweh. Ashar. Tekora'ah. Atham. Makwa Ra'ayah. Kodash. Alahaya. Ham. Mawa Idiyah. Verse 3. Shatha. Yamayam. The I.S.U.P.K. Mala'a Ma. Wabaya Wam. Ashab Ya'aya. Shabbat. Shabbat 1. Mukwa Ra'ah. Kodash. Ma. Mala Aham. La'ah. The I Wa Salakia. The I Shawat. Shabbat. Hawa. La Yahweh. Bamal. Mawa Shabbat. Yamam. Verse 4. Alahaya. Mawa Idiyah. Yahweh. Makwa Ra'aya. Kodash. Ashar. Makwa Ra'awa. Atham. Bama Wa'ai Salakia. Bama Wa'ai Dam. Verse 5. For Ka Shad, Salakia, Fakadash, Hara, Asha, 1, Abba, Ra, Salakia, Abba, Rabba, Iha, Ashar, Lakwa, Lakadash, Banyak, Bayan, Ha'ai Rab, Yam, Pashak, La'ai, Salakia, La Yahweh, verse 6, Waba, Kama, Shah, Aishar, Yawam, Ladash, Lakadash, Hazah, Kai, Ma, Tazawa, La Yahweh, Shabbat, Ike, Yamayam, Matazah, Wa, Ta'a, Malah, verse 7, Bayah, Wam, Havra, Asha, 1, Makwa, Ra, Kadash, Yahya, Lamam, Ma, Malah, Ma'a, Ma, Ibada, La'a, Ta'ai, Shua. That was the end of verse. That was the end of verse 8. So we read in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, from verse 1 to verse 8. Give a shout out to the sisters in chat. Shout out Kala. Shout out 123 Gigi. Nawa. Give a shout out to all those sisters. Right. Oh wait, we got one more. Shout out to Raya. Salakia. And once again, shout out this. You already know. This Unleavened Bread is winning this whole weekend. The whole week. I was talking earlier about how we had some unleavened bread with scrambled eggs. Good night. Shout out to the sisters for that unleavened bread. All right, Officer Shaywan. We're going to read from Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 1 to verse Salakia. Verse 1 to verse 7.
Come, sir. Leviticus 23 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of Yahweh.
Right. These are, listen, the children of Israel, if you're not familiar and you just got on this channel, the children of Israel are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the people that everyone hates in the earth. Right. Nevertheless, they had a leader. His name was Moses. He communed with Yahweh, right? And Yahweh gave him our high holy days and memorial days, days that we're supposed to recognize, right? And these are the days that we're supposed to recognize. Read that one more time, the last part.
And say unto them, concerning the feasts of Yahweh.
Right? Everyone's having a party or doing something tonight, but this is the feast that we're supposed to be at, right? With your brothers and sisters, eating this unleavened bread, right? Eating some good lamb or whatever you have, without everything that doesn't have leaven in it, right? As we close this feast out, it's all good. You could listen. You can bake a cupcake or whatever have you, a cake, whatever you do that tomorrow after the feast, right? But for the last week, we didn't have any leaven in our diet, right? It wasn't even in our house, right? These are the feasts of the Lord. Keep reading.
Come. which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Holy gatherings, a separate gathering, right? A gathering that's not like the rest of the world. Listen, the Most High's plague shut down the earth for the last 2 years, and there wasn't a caravana. Our oppressor couldn't wait to reinstate caravana in the city of Toronto, and they want brothers and sisters to be whores and whoremongers in these streets again. They can't wait for you sisters to get naked and run up and down Lakeshore like you have no sense, like you have no father, like you don't have a husband, or you're not looking for one. Keep reading.
Even these are my feasts.
These are his
6 days shall work be done.
Right. 6 days work is going to be done. Right. The Most High, he built the earth. He had the angels under the authority of Yahushua build the earth in 6 days, a long span of time. Right. Keep reading.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Of what?
Of rest.
Of not eating cooked food.
Of rest.
Of not turning on your TV.
Of rest.
Right? It's a Sabbath of rest. What is that rest from? That rest is from hard work. In our bondage right now, the water to the Most High for this Sabbath. Because if it wasn't for this Sabbath, the oppressor would want us to be at work right now. It's 8:49, and the oppressor wants you at work right now, clocking in, making him millions so he could drive a Porsche while you take the bus for the next 40 years. Keep reading.
And holy convocation.
It's a Sabbath day, a rest day, a day that you should gather with your brothers and sisters. Next week, Lord allow, I'm going to gather with my brothers and sisters in Montreal and see Officer Sharywan, who I haven't seen in months. Right? Keep reading.
You shall do no work therein, O Salakia.
That was it.
It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
Right? It's the Sabbath of the Lord. Right? We're not gonna go to work. We're gonna take that day to rest. Now, does that mean you cannot play your PlayStation on that day? Right? It's your rest day. Your rest from what? From bondage, from work. Right? Because the oppressor wants to work you to be dust. Right? Keep reading.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations.
Go ahead.
Which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
In their seasons, right? We have men of the Lord who've been tracking these feast days since the 60s, right? Since the 60s, these feast days have been being tracked, and they're in the right seasons, right? Listen, if it has fringes on his shirt or tassels or it says Shalom, you're not at the Lord's Passover or the Lord's High Holy Days. You're just doing whatever Christians do, and it really doesn't really matter. Keep doing whatever the hell you want to do because you're not in the truth anyways, right? But in the I.S.U.P.K, we're celebrating the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread in the right season. The seasons that the men of the Lord have been tracking since the 60s, right? And they did not wear fringes on shirts or tassels or none of that HH stuff. If you listen to Cross the Line Radio, you know what the HH is. Listen, they're not doing the fish stuff. Salakia.
Salakia, if I may add, it had actually crossed my mind when I was at the Passover, and I could not imagine seeing half-naked women serving bottles of liquor to my brothers and sisters at the Lord's Passover.
Good night.
Like that would be such a disgrace, such a spit in the Most High's eyes.
Right.
And I just say that to say, like these men that are over us, Commanding General YAHANNA, our leader, he does his job as a good father should,
right,
as a good leader should. He lets us know when the feast days are. He lets us know what we can and can't do, what days we should be celebrating this, how long our feast days last, what days they start, what we should, and that's
Right.
it. Like, we're in good hands. We're in Tawab hands.
Right.
And this is absolutely the only place on earth that does the will of the Most High. Salakia.
Salakia. Dorothy said in The Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home. That's the home of the truth. I.S.U.P.K. started out
God.
1969. Right?
Yeah,
Salakia, you can keep reading.
come. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
We just had the Passover last week, right? The Passover led into the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which we're gonna get to. If you notice, it said the 14th day of the first month. Now the first is the beginning, right? The Genesis, right? That was that was this month, April, right? In spring, the oppressor says it's spring. You see the trees budding new life. The bees are out. I seen a bee the other day. I seen ants and these little fruit flies that like to pop up in my place around the springtime. Right? They're back. It's the beginning of the year. Nature knows it's the beginning of the year.
Right.
Your pastor loves his oppressor. He loves the person who beats you to a pulp and grinds you into dust. So he says whatever his daddy tells him. He says we should worship Jonas, right? Or Janus, however you say it, the Roman god of old and new, right? And say it's the new year in the dead of winter. So Salakia, I just noticed you got out of town. Salakia.
God,
Right? But back to it, the first month would be the first month of the year. The New Year's is not in the winter, right? And this is the Passover. It's to remind us the Passover. Now the Passover is it's a heavy thing for all children to know, for all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to know, right? Because you have Native Americans who are going to be sometime tomorrow. They're going to be protesting somewhere, crying for land back, which they have every right to scream and be angry to get the land back that is stolen from them. Their children were murdered, right? It's just sad to see that they don't listen to the priests and prophets of the Lord and understand that you don't have to go and bear arms and jump in the middle of traffic to get this land back, to get what you want, to get your revenge, to get justice, right? Now I know sometimes when you talk to certain people, they don't like that word revenge. But that's what the Passover is about. Pharaoh was killing our firstborns, right? That's how Moses got sent in a basket in a river to Pharaoh's daughter, because Pharaoh was killing our firstborns, right? The Passover, we ate unleavened bread, put lamb's blood on our doorposts, ate the lamb, all of the lamb, with our swords in our hand, girded up, right? Just like this. And the Lord passed over our homes, and he freed us, right? While all of Egypt mourned, all the cattle firstborn was dead. All man's firstborn was dead. Everything dead, because the Lord's death angel passed over Egypt. And if you had the blood on the doorpost, you were passed over. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High.
Ooh, look at this unleavened bread. It's the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High, right? We had to make bread real quick, right? And if anybody who bakes knows you knead the dough and you let it set up. Yeast is down near mold, right? And it takes a while to set up in that dough, and it puffs up the bread, right? And as it puffs up the bread, you're able to bake with it, and your bread rises. When you don't have yeast, everything that you need with dough, it goes flat, right? So we made this bread real quick, and we ate the Passover lamb and the unleavened bread, and we sat and we waited. Keep reading.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
About 6 or almost 7 days ago, right? This is the 7th night. We're closing out unleavened bread. We've been eating unleavened bread for the last 7 nights, right? And the men of Israel and the children of Israel, they ate that bread for 7 nights, 7 days. Keep reading.
Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation.
Right. In the first day, we had a holy convocation, and I heard Cocoa Beach, Florida was packed full of priests and prophets and princesses and good night. They've never seen black women look so glorious. They've never seen black men in righteousness stand on brotherhood. Right? And we had a holy convocation, right? For brothers and sisters who couldn't make it down to across the border, we went to Montreal and we gathered, right? Let's give Officer YAHANNA a hand. Let's give that brother a hand, because he did what most of Salakia. Listen, if you're not in here, man, I just don't think you have what it takes to stand and fight for your people. And if you're afraid, you're a coward. And in here, you're not afraid. And Officer YAHANNA was not afraid, and he drove for 24 hours and slept in the back of his car to get to Florida. He was not afraid. That man is not a coward. Right? Keep reading on.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
No servile work therein. We're going to have a good time, a party for 7 days. Salakia, Officer YAHANNA, I think there's still brothers and sisters on the beach, Cocoa Beach. Good night. I think they're still on the beach in Cocoa Beach, and they're still having a good time. Right? So we're going to go back now, and we're going to read again in the Hebrew another 7 verses. Salakia. Bear with me one moment. Good. We're going to read another 7 verses. We're going to read verse 8 to verse 14 in the Hebrew. All right. Leviticus 23rd chapter, verse 8. Waha korah b'tham asha la Yahweh Shabbat Yum Yum Bayawam Hashag Ya'aya Makora Kodash La Mal Mala Salakia Mala'ah Ma Ibada La'a Sa'ai Shua. Verse 9. Wayad Wayadabar Yahweh Al Mashah La'amar. Verse 10. Dabar Al Banya Yasha'Allah Wa'amara Alaham, Maya, Tabawa, Al, Parataza, Ashad, Anaya, Nathan, Limam, Wakwa Rataza, Salakia, Wakwa Tazar, Thumb, At, Kwataza, Yara, Waha, Ba Atham, At, Aimar, Ra'a Shaya, Kwataza, Ya Salakia, Kwataza, Yaram, Yaramam, Ah, Hamnat, Salakia, Hamahan, verse 11, Waha Naya Pa, Salakia, Waha Naya A, Ha'amar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Lara Tazan, Mama, Korah, Hashabat, Salakia, Hashabat, Yana, Yapa Nawa, Hama Han, verse 12, Wa'ai Shaya Tham, Baya Wam, Na Yapa Mam, At, Ha'amar, Shabbat, Shalakia, Mashab, Shalakia, Mabash, Tama Yam, Van, Shana Wa Tawa, Allah, La Yahweh, 13, Wama Naka Tawa, Shania, Aisha Rana Yam, Salah, Bala Wala, Basha Man, Asha, La Yahweh, Razak, Na Salakia, Rayak, Nayak, Wana Sama, Yayan, Yayan, Salakia, Rabba Ya'ai, Ha Yan, verse 14, Wala Kam, Wakwa Laya, Wama Ramal, La, Fa'a, Mala, Tazam, Haya Wam, Haza, Waba, Ya, Amar, Amam, Korah, Ban, Alahayim, Kwa, Kakwa, Iwa Lam, Ladar, Ra, Yamam, Bamal, Masha, Ba, Yamam. All right, we're going to go back and break it down again from verse 8 down to 20, Salakia, verse 8 down to 14. Salakia, Officer Shariwan. Salakia, Officer Shariwan, can you hear me?
Come on, sir.
Can you break down? We're going to read again, verses 14, Salakia, verses 8 to 14.
Come. Verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days.
Right. An offering made by fire. Right? That's preparing your food. Right? That's having a barbecue. That's putting something on the roast for 7 days. Keep reading.
Come. In the 7th day is an holy convocation. Ye shall do
Read.
no servile work therein.
Right? And these are holidays. The oppressor loves to take his holidays. Well, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you have the best holidays. Your holidays are from a living God. Keep reading.
Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Right. The Lord told Moses this. Right. Listen, you got that. We just spoke of it. We're in a 7-day holiday. Now imagine 7 days off your slavery just to be around your brothers and sisters and eat good food. 7 days of straight up partying.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 9. Salakia, verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
Right. As we close out, right, we're going into the first fruits. As we close out unleavened bread, right, and you have to bring the best, the first of what you got. The first of what you got is usually the best, right? You're
Right.
bringing this to the priest. Now the priests are going to eat it. They're going to sell it, right? A lot of Christians like to say, well, you're only supposed to bring food to the priest, right? Well, you're only supposed to bring 10% of your food. What if you grew cattle? So you're supposed to bring 10% of your cattle to the priest. Like the priests were farmers. The priests had priestly work to do. They didn't have no time for farming. Go sell that cattle, get the money, and bring 10% to the priest. What the priests need is the money. They'll go worry about buying the food. That money is to feed the children of Israel and the priests, right? Because the priests took care of the children of Israel that couldn't take care of themselves. Right? That's what the priest did. With this first fruits, you give the first of what you have to the priest. Right? The first of what you have, you go turn it to cash and go give it to the priest. Right? Give them the first of what you have. Keep reading.
Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord.
Right, and he's going to take that sheep and wave it before the Lord. It's going to be a wave offering. Right? This is the first fruits, and this is such a. Now imagine, Salakia, you spent all year farming. The whole season you spent it farming, right? And you got the best of whatever you have now. And someone's telling you, give up 10% of it. Give up the first of it. That first crop that you have, give it to the priest.
Right.
Right? That is such a selfless act. Right? Such a humbling act to know that, listen, you can't even get 10 cents out of a brother or sister in the world. Right? And in this, we have to give up the first of what we had to the priest. Right? And he waved it before the Most High to be accepted as an offering. Keep reading.
Come. to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it.
Read.
Verse 12. And he shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and the he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Right. You're going to give up those up the best of what you have, right? And the priest is going to it's his. Don't worry about what he does with it. If it's a priest of the Most High and not a Christian pastor, he's going to go to Mexico with it and feed some Haitians. Right? Pay your tithes. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 12. Salakia, verse 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil.
Right. Now the priest is going to take that lamb that you gave him and he's going to mingle it with flour. Officer Shaywan, what are the priests doing with the flour?
Come on, sir. We make some good food, sir.
They're seasoning that food.
God.
Good night. Did anybody see Paula Patton? Right? They say Paula Patton's beautiful. I don't know if that's a sister or a devil. I don't know. I don't give a damn. I know she married to a devil, so who knows, man? If you married to a devil, you look like the devil to me. Right? She talked about she was frying the chicken. It wasn't seasoned. She put it in the oil, and then after she took it out of oil, she sprinkled some flour on it. Talked about she's frying chicken. I said, what the hell? She looked good, but she can't cook for shit.
God.
Good night.
Right.
If that's a sister, give her a flyer. Sisters, get her right. Get her right.
So Salakia Adawad, if I may,
God.
she needs to get in class and learn some practical knowledge.
ASAP. She needs that practical knowledge. The sisters will get her right. They'll tell her you put seasoning on your food. Good night. Oh man, brothers and sisters in the world, a lot to watch. Do not season your chicken after you take it out of the oil. I'm just saying. I don't know where they do that. Right. All right. Well, let's keep going. We got a lot more to read. Ooh, we talk about seasoning. You can keep reading.
Come on, sir. An offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor.
A sweet savor. Again, Officer Shaywan said we cook good food. A sweet savor. Keep reading.
And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin.
Right? And the drink offering, some wine. Right? That means the priests were drinking. Right? The Christian church likes to say, listen, you can't drink, and fake Israelites who are jealous because their school, their groups are falling apart and it's full of brothers and sisters who are unbrotherly and unsisterly. They look at the UPK and say, see, he's drinking while he's teaching. Officer Shaywan, read that last part again.
Come. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine.
Right. So did the priest just pour the wine out? What did the priest do with the wine? Right?
Wine. They drank the wine.
They drank the wine. You know how we know they drank the wine? What did the children of Israel do with the Passover lamb offering? They ate the Passover lamb offering. The priest drank the wine. Ooh, the water for this good wine now. Ooh, keep reading.
Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God.
Keep reading.
It It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your
Right.
dwellings.
You are supposed to give to the priest first of your first offerings. Right? That first crop that you get, you give it to the priest first. Right? Salakia. One moment. All right, so we're going to go back and keep reading. We're going to read 14 to 21. We're going to read 15 to 21 now. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, 15 to 21. So let me make sure I'm at the right spot. Wasap Ratham Lamam Mamak Ra Hashabat Hashabat Maya Wam Haba Ya'a Mam Amar Hatha Wapa Shabbat 1 Samayam Salakia Samaya Ma Saha Yad Salakia Saha Yana verse 16 I Mama Ra Hashabat Ya I Salakia the Sa Ra very nice Kama Shayam Yawam Waha Kora Ba Yam Manaka Kadasha La Yahweh verse 17 Mama Washabatya Mam Taba Ya Awa Rakam Dana Wapa Shatha Yam Shanaya Aisha Ra Nayam Salah Saha Yan Na Kamataza Sa'a Pa Salakia Sa'a Paya Na Bama Wara Yam La Yahweh 18 Waha Kwara Batham Al Allah Come Shabbat Shayam Tama Ya Mam Banya Shana Upad Bana Salakia Upad Ban Bakwa Akkad Wa'a Yalam Shana Yam Yaha Yawa Ayla La Yahweh Maka Salakia Waka Wama Naka Thumb Wana Sama Yaham Asha Mayak Ka La Yahweh. Verse 19. Well, Shaya Thumb. Sha'a Yad. Isaiah Yum. Akai. Ka Ta'a. To what? Salakia. Laka Ta'a. Was Sha Naya. Maba Shayam. Baya. Shana. Liza Lazaba. Shala Ma Yam. Verse 20. Waha Naya. Hama. Hana. Thumb. Al. Lakam. Ba Mara Yam. So Fana Wapa. Lapanya. Yahweh. Al. Shanaya. Shabah Shemayam. Kodash. Yaha. La Yahweh. Lama Hana. Verse 21. Wakwa Ra Atham. Ba'ai Tazam. Haya Wam. Hazah. Makwa Ra. Kodash. Yaha. Lamam. Mala Atham. Salakia. Mala Amat. Ibada. La'a. Ta'ai Shah. Kakat. I will love. Mabal. Salakia. Bamal. Mawa. Shabbat. Yamam. Lada. Ra. Yamam. Salakia. Lada. Ratha. Yamam. All right, let's get back to it. We're going to break it down again in the English. Officer Shayuan, can you read verses in Leviticus 23, 15 to 21 in the English?
Come, sir. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
Right, so we're going to count for 7 weeks. Right? You remember the days in the 7 weeks? 7 weeks after this Sabbath. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord.
Right? So, after these 50 days, we're going to offer a new meat offering unto the Lord, right? Now, Christians, they call this the day of Pentecost. Right? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenths deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord.
Right. So after we close the feast of unleavened bread, we're going to count 50 days and go into first fruits. Right? And that's how we get to the first fruits, and that would be the first fruits of the Lord. Right? And we're going to have another holy convocation, another gathering. We're going to cook good food and just love each other. And remember that it was the Lord that brought us out of Egypt so we can have these days to celebrate. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 18. And he shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year.
Keep reading.
Salakia. Come. And 1 young bullock and 2 rams. They
Keep
shall
reading.
be for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Now, listen. That is so interesting that we read that part, because I was speaking to a brother the other day, and he's talking about he's having a baby shower. I said, Most High in Christ, you're having a baby. He said, yeah, I just can't figure out what food I'm going to have for the baby shower. And he started going down a list of the food. Right? And he had, listen, there's fish, goat, all types of chicken, right? And that sounds exactly like what we just read, right? When you go to a Black, Hispanic, and Native American party, when it comes to food, we have everything there. And of course, it's everything clean that you're supposed to eat, right? We're not talking about, there's no pork on our table. But when you come to a holy convocation with the men of the Lord, you're going to see about 100 different plates of clean food that you can eat. Keep reading.
Come. With their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord.
Right. We're going to have it's going to be a roast, a barbecue, a party, a holy convocation, a separate gathering. It's not a Christmas party. It's not your work Christmas party. It's not one of your co-workers' bachelor parties or anything like that. This is something that's separate from the rest of the world. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings.
Right. We were having a party. So yeah. Shalom, priest. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Hey, shalom, priest, Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Shalom,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Officer Shayuan, where were you just reading?
Come, sir. Just finished reading verse 19.
Verse 19. Okay, hold that right there. Trooper Baraki Allah. Imagine Officer Shayuan. Imagine. Trooper Baraki Allah, state your registry.
Salakia, Adawan.
Salakia, my bad. Officer Baraki Allah. Big Officer 50 Baraki Allah, state your registry.
Officer 50 Baraki Allah, Ban Yamyan, Ban Yasharala.
Officer 50 Baraki Allah, Banya Sharala. Saluda.
Yahweh Shem Shabrak
Yahweh Shabrak. Yajimata, you may be seated. Officer Baraki Allah, you're going to continue the reading for the English. Officer Shayuan, if you don't mind, can you grab the Hebrew for us?
Come, sir.
Salakia, Adawan. What book and what chapter are we in?
We're in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 19. You can start at verse 19. Right?
Leviticus 23rd chapter, verse 19.
Right.
All right, Adawan. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings.
Right. So this is a sacrifice of peace offering and a sin offering. We were eating good. Right? This is what we did. We had holy convocations and we ate good. Right? We sacrificed the best of what we had for sin and for peace. Right? Now, according to the Christian church, you can sin willfully. right? Because the Christian church says the law is done away with. So if there's no law, that means you could do it because it's not against the law, right? The Christian church, it's just an evil, wicked place. It makes no sense. In the Christian church, they say water is dry and fire doesn't burn, right? Keep reading.
Wakan, verse 20. And the priest shall weigh them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord with 2 lambs. They shall be holy to the Lord for the priests.
Right, and these were the offerings that you gave to the priest that the priest would offer up for the Lord during these holy convocations, right? And they would wave them, they would show them off to the Lord, right? And it's a wonderful time when this is happening because just like Officer Sharyuan said earlier, it at a gathering full of righteous men and sisters, it's a place of peace and love. And
Right.
listen, you bring your children to to a holy gathering with a righteous man of the Lord and righteous sisters, and you don't even worry about anything that happened. I see on ITHES' post, right? ITHES out of Florida, he had about 50 images of things that were left behind. And it said,
God.
if you recognize your things, get in contact. Good night. That is not happening in the Christian church. Those 50 things would be in the pastor's closet. And you would see him wear it 2 to 3 years later, sometimes even the next day. Right? And here, with righteous men and righteous women, listen, there's going to be a Facebook post, a Kijiji ad, a commercial made about the missing items, just so you can get them back. Keep reading.
Wakan, verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the self same day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
It shall be a statue. Brother, I'm going to need you to read that one more time. But before you go on, I thought it said it's going to be a statute for a period of time.
Wakan, it shall be a statute forever.
It shall be a statute for only the Old Testament.
Forever.
Forever. Right? Means you still
Right.
keep it. While sisters are getting their nakedness ready for Caravana, we're going to be getting ready to celebrate all of these high holy days and Memorial Days that last forever. Right? The Christian church, they want your tithes, but they don't want you to keep these. Right? What verse was that?
Verse 21 out of 1.
Right? So we're going to keep these forever throughout our generation. Officer Sharyuan, can you read Leviticus 22 to 28, Baba Kashat?
Come, sir. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wabach Quatazah Ramam Ath Quatazayar Abraham Salakia Aratazah Mama La'ah Thamala Pa'ath Shaddam Ba Quatazar Walaquat Quatazah Yaram La'ah Thalaquat Lainaya Walagar Tha'izab Atham Aniyah Yahweh Alahayim Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La'amar, Kwabar, Al, Banya, Yasharala, La'amar, Bakwadash, Hashab, Ya'ai, Ba'akad, Lakadash, Ya Salakia, Yaha, Lamam, Mabathawan, Zamar Wana, Thara Wa'ai, Makwa Ra'a, Kwadash, verse 25, Mal, Mala'am, Tha, Ibad, La'a, Tha'aishawa, Yaha Kwa Salakia, Waha Kwara, Batham, Asha, La Hawa, verse 26. Wa Yadabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La Amar, verse 27. Ba'aishwar, La Kadash, Hashaba, Ya'aya, Hazah, Yawam, Hamapa, Rayam, Hawa'a, Makwara'a, Kwadash, Yaha, Lamam, Wa'ain, Yatham, Ath, Napa, Shatha, Yamam, Waha, Kwara, Batham, Asha, La Hawa, Salakia, La Yahweh, verse 28, Wamal, Mala Amma, La'a, Tha'aishwa, Baitazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Maya, Yawam, Maparium, Hawa'a, La Mapar, Al Yamam, La Lapanya, Yahweh, Allah, Allahayim. That's the end of verse 28, sir.
One moment. Officer Baraki Allah, can you read in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, 22 to 28, Baruch Shah?
Khan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahweh, your God.
All right. Right. So this is letting you know that when you have a property and you have a garden or something that can feed the people, you want to not clear everything off the land. You want to leave the border of that garden of your land.
Right.
For the poor brother and sister who can't feed their children right now, right? So no, I'll tell you something, right? In Jamaica, there's a fruit called aki. It pops up, and you gotta pick it when it opens, like a flower, right? And it damn near grows everywhere. And people fry it up they season it with onions and a bunch of vegetables, and they make some saltfish with it and some dumplings, and it just grows everywhere you can eat it. In Jamaica, if you wake up in the morning and you have no food, and let's say you don't have the aki tree, you literally go over to your neighbors, Mr. Brown, we have no food right now. Can we get some aki? And Mr. Brown's gonna let you go up in his tree and pick some aki, right? And that's what this is talking about. It's about brotherhood. It's about feeding the poor of your people, the stranger. Now, some weird, fishy, fake Israelite is going to turn around and say, or some Christian, because fake Israelites are Christians, they're going to say, see, that right there is letting you know that you're supposed to feed the white man. You're supposed to feed your oppressor, right? Because it says he's a stranger. This is to let you know, this is a cut. This stranger right here is talking to Israel. Who can tell me why this stranger right here is talking to Israel? Anybody? Akia.
Wakanda.
Barakiala.
Canada Wakan.
Can y'all hear me?
Canada Wakan. Do you hear me, Alvin?
Khan, I'm asking, who could tell us why this stranger right here is talking about Israelites?
Salakia. Salakia, if I may.
Khan.
Right here, a stranger would be like a fellow Israelite that is not of your area, right?
Khan, I understand that, right? But I'm asking, how do we know that this stranger right here that we're reading is Israel? That's what I'm asking. How do we know that this stranger right here is Israel, and it's not some European man walking through your neighborhood who is a stranger as well, right? But how do we know this stranger that we just read about is Israel?
Salakia, if I may.
Khan.
Well, during those high and holy convocations, we're not allowed to have any other nation besides Israel attending these high holy convocations. So the stranger would be another Israelite regardless.
Khan, I'll take that as an answer, but that's definitely a good answer, right? Officer Shaw, you want to give it a try?
So it's lucky. I would just say because of the context in which we're speaking about, which Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. Right?
That's the answer right there.
Right.
This officer has. That's the answer right there. Moses is speaking to the children of Israel in this context. He's not speaking to a European or some Hamite or some Moabite, right? Because in this context, it's the children of Israel that's gathered with him, right? And when you go back to the top of the chapter, it says it right there. In Moses, verse 2, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, right? Officer Baraki Allah, your answer was definitely a good answer as well, right? But you want to zero in on it. He's speaking to the children of Israel. That's it. Because they can't turn around and say it's another nation, because you're going to have to show us the other nation in this chapter. Right? Keep reading.
Khan. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, Salakia, verse 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
Read.
Verse 24. Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation.
Keep reading.
Karawakan. Verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. So this is as we keep going, right? We're having a memorial of blowing trumpets, right? Now, somebody get me right, Officer Shaywan. This memorial of blowing trumpets, right? Or Officer Adiyar. The memorial of blowing trumpets, right? This is after the fall of Jericho.
I believe so, priest.
Right. Right. We walked around Jericho, around the wall, I think 7 times, right? Blowing trumpets and shouting, right? And those walls crumbled, right? And that's what this memorial is about. All these now, Exodus 15:3 tells you that the Lord is a man of war.
Right.
Right? This is a war book. You see Officer Shaywan in his town. Right? Officer Shaywan is ready for war. If you were to see Officer Adiyai, he's going to be in his garments and he's going to have glorious spikes on, glorious studs on his armbands. Right? This is a time of war. All the memorials and high holy days, it's majority of it is about a war that we fought, or remembering a time when we were going through it and the Most High came to get us, to protect us. Keep reading. Rocky Olive.
Karawakan.
Keep reading.
Verse 26. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
Keep reading.
verse 27. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy.
The Day of Atonement. Now, brothers and sisters, listen, this is they call it the Day of Atonement. I like to call it the Day of Fighting Your Demon. The day of torturing yourself for the rest of Israel, because some brothers and sisters don't know how to torture themselves and not know how to fight their demons. On this day, we torture ourselves. We don't eat. This isn't have breakfast and don't eat until nighttime. That's every day in the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American community, where we might have a little bit of breakfast. Hell, some of us aren't having breakfast and they're not eating at night either. This isn't Ramadan. This isn't put ash on your forehead and give up pork for one day. This is a 24-hour sundown to sundown, no liquid, no solid food. Now, if you're sick or you're pregnant or you're of old age, you don't have to participate. This ain't the Torture Your Child X show where we torture children and they don't eat, because how the hell you can tell a child they can't eat? Why would you even want to tell your child they can't eat? They already don't eat.
Right.
Keep reading.
Karawakan. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
Keep reading.
Verse 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahweh your God.
Right. So this is the Day of Atonement where you're going to afflict your soul, you're going to torture yourself, and you're going to make atonement for being a, listen, if you're in the world, you should be doing this because you're probably disgusting. Just like all of us were when we were in the world. Right? And dipping yourself in water does not make you clean. Right? And for brothers and sisters who do not know how to fight, we're going to take that a Day of Atonement to show you how to fight.
All right.
Right? Officer Shayuan, Baba Kashad, get me right, 29 to 35.
Okay, sir. Book Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 25, Salakia, 29 in the Hebrew. Maya, Mal, Hanapash, Ashar, La'ah, Tha'aina, Bai Tazam, Ha Yawam, Hazah, Wanamar, Thaha, Ma'aim Yaha, Wamal, Hanapash, Ashar, Tha'aisha, Mal, Malaamha, Bai Tazam, Ha Yawam, Hazah, Waha, Abada Thaya, Ath, Hanapash, Hahawa'a, Makwar Ba, Aima, Mal, Ma La'am, Salakia, Mala'a, Maha, La'a, Tha'aishwa, Kakwath, Iwalam, Ladara, Thayama, Bamal, Mashaba, Thaya, Mama, verse 22, Mabath, Shabatha, Wana, Hawa'a, Lamam, Wa'ain, Yatham, Ath, Napash, Thayam, Batha, Sha'ai, Lakad, Salakia, La Kadash, Bairab, Mairab, Aid, Irab, Thasha Bathawa, Shabbat Thamam, verse 33. Wa Yadabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La'amar, verse 34. Dabar, Al, Banya, Yasharala, La'amar, Bakam Shaha, Aishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashab Ya'ai, Hazah, Kab, Hasa Mawath, Shaba'aith, Yam, La Hawa. Verse 35. Ba Yawam, Hara Ashawan, Makwar Salakia, Makwara, Kwadash, Mal, Malaamtha, Ibada, La'a, Tha'aishwa. That's the end of verse 35, sir.
Oh, Most High in Christ. Officer Gracia Allah, can you read Leviticus 29, the 23rd chapter, 29 to 35, Baba Kashaf.
Canada Wakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
You have to do the Day of Atonement. The Lord wanted you to do it. You have to afflict yourself. To unafflict yourself during the Day of Atonement is cowardly.
Canada Wakan.
This is something. You say you're an Israelite. You say you want to be a priest of the Most High. You want to get oppressors to kiss your boots. You have to do the Day of Atonement. You want a spot in the kingdom, you must do the Day of Atonement. The Most High said he's going to cut you off if you don't. Keep reading.
Canada Wakan, verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
Right. Right now, the oppressor, many brothers and sisters have to work because we're in bondage. Because we're in the hands of our oppressors. Because you wanted to sin. Because your forefathers wanted to sin, we're in bondage. You don't want your children to be in bondage. Stop sinning. Right? Provoke the Most High into sending the angels. Sending Yahawashi with the command of the angels to come rescue us. Stop sinning. Keep reading.
Canada Wakan, verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
You're not supposed to work during the Day of Atonement. The oppressor has us working. He's going to be destroyed and put in a hard bondage because of it. Keep reading.
Canada Wakan, verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month of at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Now, listen. This is a book for warriors because only warriors celebrate pain.
Right.
From evening to evening, you're going to celebrate pain. Salaki, I'm always going to say this when it comes to this portion of this part of the breakdown. One day a bond said, Akia, now we feast on pain. And we feasted on pain. We celebrated. Keep reading.
Canada Wakan, Salakia, verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles.
Right. So we just went through atonement, right? We feasted on pain. Now we're going to go into the Feast of Tabernacles. When we were in the kingdom, we would go into the wilderness, right? And we would remember what it was like to be wandering for 40 years, doing the Passover in the desert for 40 years. And I laugh at that moment. You have to be a priest to understand why I'm laughing, right? Christians and fake Israelites alike say, you can't do the Passover. They're jealous of the Passover, right? They don't know how to make men, how to be an inspiration to men to graduate for Hebrew Academy. They don't know how to gather and build thousands of brothers and sisters and counsel thousands of marriages. You'd be on the phone for thousands of hours talking to brothers and sisters about their problems, not your problems like everyone else in the world. Everyone else in the world calls you to tell you about their problems, In here, we take calls about our brothers and sisters' problems, and we listen. Right? They're jealous of the Passover. They don't know that the Passover was in the wilderness for 40 years. 40 years in the desert. That's where the Most High told them to keep it. Right? Read that part again.
Salaki, what was that other one?
Read that verse again.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh.
We're going to remember what it was like to be in the wilderness, to not have a home. Right? Right now, right now, we're in the wilderness again. We don't have a home. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, where is your home? Where do you come from?
So like the memory of blowing the trumpet is just another day that the Most High put for us, right? It's not because of when we went in Jericho and destroyed the walls of the city, but it's just another day that the Most High was separated for us, right?
For getting me right.
And the Eden, the fake Jewish man, if I may go forward, the Jewish man called it Rosh Hashanah. Understand? So that's it's just another day, like you understand. Like if I could add, so like a priest, if I could add, like the Christian and everybody that don't want to follow the Bible, right? They always say that, well, following the Bible is boring. There's no feast days. There's no we can party. We can enjoy ourselves. We just finished a feast of 7 days where you barbecue, you have fun, you finish your slaving if you're slaving. You understand? If you're slaving, you didn't have vacation. You just have fun. You understand? You just put music on. You understand? And basically, you understand, party. You understand? So, and right after it, we have another feast day. You understand? Like this is the type of thing that is in our culture. You understand? So it's just days like just to bring Esdras back. You understand? Like in Esdras it says like which days are why a day is higher than another. You understand? If I praise. You understand? Because why? Because the Most High set days, you understand, according to his knowledge, according, you understand, to wisdom. And the Most High decides which day is higher than another day. Understand? And this is why we have you understand, the memory of blowing the trumpet. This is why we have the Passover. This is why we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and so on and so on. Because the Most High dictates exactly which day is best and which day is regular day. So like,
The water. Give that priest a hand. Right. So there you have it. The memorial of blowing trumpet is just another day that the Most High said, gather, eat good food, party, and be brotherly. Good night. Right. And that was an excellent breakdown. Brock Allen, you can continue reading.
Karawakan. Verse 35. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, and that is just another day that we're going to have to not Salakia. It's another time of no working, of just rest and enjoying your brothers and sisters. And if there's one thing we do extremely well in the UPK, it's enjoy the love of our brothers and sisters. Right? brotherhood is our currency, and we are extremely rich in it.
Yeah, man.
Right? When it comes to brotherhood, we're gazillionaires. Right?
God,
A
God.
gazillionaire. That's how much brotherhood and sisterhood we have. A gazillionaire. It's not a trillionaire. It's a gazillionaire. So like, I don't even know what that means, but it's more than a billion. Good man. Officer Shaw, you want it? Can you finish out the rest of the chapter, Baba Kishar?
Come on, sir. Leviticus chapter 23, starting at verse 36. Shaba'ith, Yam Yam, Thakwar Yabawa, Asha, La Yahweh, Bayawam, Hasham Yanan, Salakia, Hasham Yanya, Makrora, Kwadash, Yaha, Lamam, Wahakwar, Batham, Asha, La Yahweh, Itazar, Tha, Hawa'a, Mal, Mala, Amatha, Ibad, La'a, Tha'ishwa, Allah, Mawa'id, Yahweh, Ashar, Thakwarwa, Atham, Makwar Aya, Kwadash, Laha Kwara Yaba, Ashar, La Yahweh, Allah, Waman, Kaha, Zabak, Wana Samayam, Dabar, Yawam, Bayawamwa. Verse 38. Malbad, Shabbatha, Yahweh, Wamala Bada, Mathanawa, Thaya Mama, Wamal Bad, Mal, Nada, Rayamam, Wamal Bad, Mal, Nada Batha Yamam, Ashar, Tathanawa, La Yahweh. Verse 39. Bakam Shaha, Aishar, Yawam, La Kadash, Hashabah Ya'aya, Ba'a Sapa Mama, Ath, Thabawa'ath, Ha'arataza, Thakagawa, Ath, Kag, Yahweh, Shaba'ith, Yam, Bayawam, Hara, Ashawan, Shabbathawan, Wabayawam, Hashamaya Naya, Shabbathwan, Walakwa, Katham, Lamam, Bayawam, Hara, Ashawan, Paraya, Aitazah, Hadar, Mapath, Thama Rayam, Wa'ainpa, Aitazah, Ibath, Wa'ar Baya, Nakal, Washa, Makath, Makathma, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahayim, Shabbaith, Yam, verse 41, Wakag Thama, Athwa, Kag, La Yahweh, Shabbaith, Yam, Bashana, Kakwath, I Walam, Ladar, Thayamam, Bakadash, Hasha Bayaiya, Thakagwa, Athwa, verse 42, Basamath, Thashabawa, Shabbaith, Yam, Mal, Ha'azarka, Bayasharala, Yeshabwa, Basamtha, Lama'ain, Yada'aiwa, Daratha Yam, Maya, Basa'aim, Wa'ath, Hawa Shabthaya, Banya, Yasharala, Bahawa, Tazayaya, Awatham, Ma'arataza, Ma Taza'aryam, Anya, Yahweh, Alahim, verse 44, Wayadabarwa, Salakia, Wayadabar, Masha, Ma'idea, Yahweh, all, Banya, Yasharala. That's the end of verse 44, sir.
Khan, please. Give yourself a hand. Barak Yahweh.
Kana Wakan.
You're going to read from 36 and finish out the chapter.
Kana Wakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. So this again is another holiday. 7 days of partying. On the 8th day, 7 days of rest. On the 8th day, we're going to gather. We've already been gathering for those 7 days, but on the 8th day, we're going to gather, and we're going to remember that the Most High is giving us these rests. Right. That's what's important. You have to remember the Most High is giving us these rests. Right now, we're working every day. Our bones are aching. Our body is screaming for rest. You wake up Monday morning and you are extremely pissed off that you even woke up to go looking some oppressor's face and have him tell you what to do when you know that you're the greatest thing walking the earth.
Right.
You know that you're supposed to be in charge, but some dirty oppressor is there telling you what to do. Right? The Most High gave us these rests. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 37. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
Right? We're going to have a party. That's the offering made by fire. Black people, Judah calls it the cookout.
Karawakan,
You're gonna have a barbecue. right? An offering made by fire. Some good eats on that barbecue, nothing unclean. Because this is not the Christian church where we say we love God and then stuff our face with pork. Like, just imagine someone saying they love God and then turning around and doing the total opposite of what it means to love the Lord. Keep reading.
Khan. A burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day. Salakia, everything upon his day.
Right? These feasts that we proclaim, they're holy convocations, right? They're for the Lord, right? We're going to remember that again. The Lord did these. These are His days. It's not your day. That's what a birthday is. A birthday is your day, right? You're so selfish that you want to wake up in the morning and say, "I'm awake. I did it myself." I'm now 23 years old. I'm now 45 years old. I turned here. I got to this age by myself. It's my day. When all the days are of the Lord. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 38. Besides the Sabbath of Yahweh, and besides your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto Yahweh.
Keep reading.
Khan, verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Right? The first day is a day of rest. The 8th day is a day of rest. Right? This is a feast, a 7-day feast. Imagine, we're going to go and have a 7-day feast. Right? And there's not going to be any arguing. There's not going to be any cousins arguing about which men they're sleeping with. Right? There's not going to be brothers arguing about you slept with my wife.
Right.
You owe me money. Right? It's a day of the Lord, something that's holy. It's only for Yahshua. Right? Keep reading.
So like priest, if I may.
Khan.
Salak, priest, with all due respect. And what we're doing right now for all the Christians that's watching us and listening to us, what we're doing is exactly what we should do. Is exactly what Christ did. Is exactly what the apostles after Christ, after the death of Christ did. Like Christians want to say, like, you know what? We don't have to follow the law. We don't have to follow the feast because Christ died for, you understand, for us not to follow the law. That's what most Christians say. Well, I got a news flash for you, Christian. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8. Understand? Let's go there. I'll read it.
God.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. So, for Christian want to use like Paul said, do not keep the feast. Do not keep the feast, do not keep the law. This is Paul in 1 Corinthians saying, let us keep the feast. A question to all Christians. Which feast is Paul talking about then? Right. If we're not supposed to keep the laws that we celebrated in the I.S.U.P.K, if we're not doing, I mean, what we gotta do, like I said, what the Bible says, if we're not doing that, then what is Paul talking about? Let us keep the feast. What feast? Because there's only one feast with unleavened bread, and that's the feast of unleavened bread, according to the Bible. Leviticus 23, just like we read it in Hebrew and in English as well. So Paul is saying, therefore, let us keep the feast. You understand? So this is one thing about Christianity. Christianity don't understand the Bible, man. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K is right. You understand? And Paul and the apostles, right after the death of Christ, celebrated exactly what we do. Salaki, please.
No sweat. That was definitely heavy. Right? I couldn't even have said it any better myself. Right? That was definitely heavy. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing right now. We're doing what Christ did. That good, right? Christians will never understand that, right? The things that we do in the UPK, if you're not in here, you'll never understand it. Somebody said to me that a family member was watching one of my social media channels, and they asked, "Why am I dressing up the way I'm doing?" And they thought it was some type of fetish or something like that. And I could only laugh. Good night. I could only laugh. And
Salaki, please.
God,
They said that as well in I.S.U.P.K Quebec and TikTok. They're like, why we dressing like WWF wrestlers?
Salakia, the answer is because we like war and we like kicking ass.
So if I may,
God,
we don't dress like WWF wrestlers, right? Because we're not Batiman like them.
right, right. Salakia, just tell them we like to destroy things. We
Right.
like to beat people up if they cross the line. We like war. We are no cowards. Tell them we'll be in your neighborhoods if there's shooting going on, and we'll be there to wake up the people because we're not afraid. That's what you tell them. And if they say we look like Power Rangers, you tell them the Power Rangers never lost.
Salakia, if I may.
God.
Like you just said, we'll be in your neighborhood if there's shootings or whatever going on. I mean, like, the ISUPK is no cowards. Wherever our people needs us, we'll be there. Whether it's in the ghettos, in the barrios, in the favelas, we'll be there.
Right.
Estamos aquí.
Right. Right. All right, let's wrap this up. We are over the time. We still got to get those prayers in. Let's finish out this chapter. Baba Kashar, you may.
Khan, verse 38. Beside the Sabbath of the Yahweh, verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day of the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the buds of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Yahweh your God 7 days.
Right. Keep reading.
Khan. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. And ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
Right. Now that was just reiterating tabernacles, right? When we're going to be in booths, right? And Christians, they say you take the palms of the bros, Salakia. You're going to take the leaves of these palms, right? Of these palm trees, and they call it, Salakia, what do the Christians call it? I think they call it, Salakia, it's something to do with palms.
Salakia,
Cut.
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, that's what the Christians call it, right? Not knowing that it's tabernacles that you're celebrating in the 7th month.
That would be a Christian church like that.
Right? And that is Christianity in a nutshell. Not knowing anything.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King telling you to love your oppressors, not knowing that it's going to destroy black businesses, not knowing that loving your oppressor is going to kill the Negro leagues. Now I gotta watch this, and I like NBA, but man, I could only imagine what a league of all black players look like ran by black men. Right now, I see a league of 99% all black players ran by white men, and you get fined 50 grand for sticking middle fingers at a Boston crowd that's probably screaming nigger. Right? I don't know what to tell you. Right? The Christian church doesn't know what the hell is going on. Right? But this is again the Feast of Tabernacles, and we're remembering what it's like to dwell in the wilderness. If you want to remember what it's like to dwell in the wilderness and you're black, Hispanic, and Native American, just go outside and walk around your neighborhood. Right? Good. Now, I was walking up and down the trenches of Montreal with Barack Yahala. Tell me I wasn't in the wilderness.
Salakia, the one.
God.
You were like, yo, it reminds me of the blocks of Baltimore.
Right. It looked like The Wire. Barack Yahala showed me a building that's been boarded up for 20 years. So like, it's not 20 years, but it's been a long time.
Salakia, about 10 years out of one.
Right. Keep reading.
Khan Wakan, verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Keep reading.
Khan Wakan, verse 43. Salaki, what was that?
You can finish the chapter.
Khan Wakan, verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Yasharallah to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Matazariam. I am Yahweh your God. And Moses.
Whoa, hold up. You see what happens when you get down with the priests and prophets? You know how to call stinking Egypt by what it was called. You know how to just read your history book and jump in and out of the English to the Hebrew. Right? Like you were born Hebrew and it was your first language.
Yeah, man.
Give that officer a hand. That was cold. Y'all, good night. Listen, that's like when you go to the party and the DJ is playing the song that you want, and you gotta shoot him a $20 bill and say money pull up. It was that cold. Good night. Listen, our president has no flavor. They know nothing of the money pull up. They just pump their hands like this.
one.
God.
If I may, we have to big up Officer Shia One for teaching the Hebrew class in Canada every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Right? Get that priest a hand. Right? Officer Shia, we be big up. Listen, the legend of Shia. Salakia. Good night. The brother said, I'm going to Florida. I said, you're doing what? Where'd you book your plane ticket? He said, nah. I said, huh? He said, I got a bed in the back and gas money. I'm gone.
One.
Good night. God.
Again, I'm just gonna say this like this. I mean, like Vibes Cartel call him the teacher, but the real teacher is Officer Shia One, right?
Right. Let's finish this up.
Kawakan. Verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Yasharallah to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Matazariam. I am Yahweh your God. Verse 44, and Moses declared unto the children of Yasharallah the feast of Yahweh. So that was the end of verse 44.
Right. And these are the high holy days and memorial days. We got some more. 1 second. Let me pull them up. I'll just pull them up and mention them to you right now while I have a chance. Right? So after Tabernacles, we have the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. Right? That's the 25th day of the 9th month. By the space of 8 days, it's going to be Saturday, December 17th. 1 second. 2022, right? You can find that First Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 to 61. And after that, we're going to remember an excellent sister, right? Esther, on the day of Purim. That's the 14th day of and the 15th day of the 12th month, Sunday the 5th March, and Monday the 6th of March 2023. You can find it Esther chapter 9, 20 to 31. Right? And again, these are the days that we're supposed to celebrate. The Lord gave us a bunch of days to be brotherly and just a lot of rest because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, no one works harder than us. We don't even get compensated for the work. It's like the person who made the damn chicken nugget, right? He doesn't get the we don't even know the name of the person who made the chicken nugget, but McDonald's is making a lot of money off of it. That's black, Hispanic, and Native American, right? We built the whole world. We built up America. We built up Canada. We built up the UK. Everywhere we've gone, we've built up. Our lands where we live are terrible. Our neighborhoods are terrible. We don't get treated properly. We don't receive any justice. Our sisters are told it's okay to be whores. Our brothers are told it's okay to be weak and a drug dealer. And listen, our lives just suck. In the
Khan,
UK is where you come and get life. You get new air breathed into you. You get a new sense of purpose. You get a new reason to fight. Many of us, we've been fighting the wrong war. We've
Right.
been killing each other and fighting. Listen, I'll say it like this. In my zone, I was the problem. Now I'm part of the solution, right? Let's give Commander General YAHANNA a hand because he held it so down, so damn long. Listen, I pray I could be a great man like Commanding General YAHANNA. I pray for that strength and that wisdom, right? So again, Akim, Akwakim, Tawada for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Officer Shayuan, Baba Kashad, can you drop the sign out link?
Khan, sir.
Right? And while we do that, we're going to say a couple of prayers. Men of Israel, Akwakian, I imagine, which means to stand. Sar Wapanya Akwadam, which means turn and face the east. Right? We're just going to wait for Officer Shayuan right quick while he does that. I'll just run through the announcements right quick before we say the prayers while he gets the links ready. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We look for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, we are offering it for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to his brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra, which means 10 in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest one. Here were offerings for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations. The next up and coming holy convocation, again, we're going to count 50 days from now, right? We're going to count 50 days from now, and on June 12th, 2022, to start before sundown, we're going to celebrate the Feast of First Fruits. You could find it, Leviticus the 23rd chapter, verses 10 to 22, which we just read. Right? Akim, Akwakian, Wahapanyakwa, Salakia. Sar Wahapanyakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Salakia, give me one moment. Let me get with you. Bear with me one moment, Baba Kashar. you can find it in Matthew 6, verses 8 to 15. Abinawa.
Abano.
Bashamayam.
Shabbat Shalom.
Kodah.
Ya.
Ya.
Ka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malaka.
Malak.
Sabah.
Sabah.
Zakah.
Zakah.
Ya.
Ya.
Shah.
Shah.
Rataza.
Rataza.
Wa.
Wa.
Ya.
Ya.
Bashamayam.
Mashamayam.
Thumanawa.
Lathan Lanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Basalaknawa.
Lasalak Lanawa.
Kawaknawa. Kasalaknawa.
Salaknawa.
Kabwakinawa.
Kawaknawa.
Wala'a.
Wala.
Dabayanawa.
Dabayan.
Konasayawan.
Wanasawan.
Abba.
Hoshainawa.
Bawashayna.
Ya.
Mayam.
Rad.
Right.
Ya.
Ya.
Kala.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Mamalak.
Wahala. Wahatapara.
Wahata.
La'aiwalamyam.
Lamyam.
Aman.
Aman. In English, what we read, our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done on earth
Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts
And forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
and we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine
the
is
power,
and the power,
and the
the
power.
glory,
and the glory,
forever so be it.
and the
forever
glory,
to be.
Forever so be it. Hakah, the prayer for power. Yahweh.
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 Yahweh,
Basham.
Basham,
Yahushai.
Yahushua,
Baba Kashar.
Babakashah,
Nathanawa.
the Son of Noah,
Hakah.
Hakah,
Hakah.
Hakah,
La Pa'ah.
La Rapa'ah,
Kal Makalah.
Kal Allah,
Wakal Madawah.
Wakal Mawah,
Hakah.
Hakah,
La Tahar.
Lakahah,
Ha Matazariah.
Habatazariah,
Hakah.
Hakah,
La Hakayam.
Lahakwayam,
Hakayam.
Hamakayam,
Hakah.
Hakah,
Awakawa.
Arakah,
Hatama'awa.
Hatamala,
Garshan.
Lagarsha,
Basham.
Basham,
Yahushai Tuwaraman.
Rahman. In English,
Kar. Salakia. In English.
concert. In English, what we read, Yahweh in the name of Yahushua,
Yahweh, Yahushua.
please give us the power,
Please give us the
to heal all manner of sickness
the power to heal
Heal
man
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against the unclean spirits,
cast them out.
cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it.
I.S.U.P.K prayer for the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Why Yahushai?
Why Yahushua?
Why Mayaka'ala?
Why my
Yahushua?
Why Alahayim?
Why Alahai?
Matazabia.
Matazabia.
Alawap Yahanna.
Alawapia.
Ha Alawapia.
Ha Alawapia.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Quatazan. Ha Quatazanyam.
Akwatazayanyam.
Ha Kaya Yalyam.
Hakayal Yanyam.
Yalyam.
Ha Aquafiam.
Wah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tuwad
Tuwad Aman.
in English, what we said. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahushai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yahanna,
commanding General Yohanan,
the generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captain,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai,
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it.
Men of Israel, Agwatim Sar. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadrim Shabbat. Amadrim. Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yajamata. Sorry to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadrim Shabbat. Amadrim. Barak. Yahweh Shema. Clap it up. All right. Tune in. We'll be back at you. Don't forget to hit the sign out link, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share these videos all over the world, all over the metaverse.
All right.
Khan Wakan.